strength. Please guide my way onto the path of my being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, I'm calling your name. Oh, Allah.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Welcome, my dear viewers from all around the world. Welcome to another exciting, inshallah, edition of Let's Talk. You guys, of course, on your favorite Islamic English language channel, Huda TV. And please continue to support Huda TV on all of our social media websites, including www.youtube.com/Huda TV, Facebook.com/Huda TV, our Twitter account, all that stuff. Share it with your friends. It's a great tool for dawah. You guys, as you know, on Let's Talk, we address interesting youth issues, especially that are beneficial and pertain to the youth all around the Muslim world. And this evening is no different. We are going to be speaking about learning a second language. That's right, the benefits of it, of learning a second language, methods to do so, and why should we learn a second language. So we should start off by saying, you guys, se habla español, parlez-vous français, hal tatakallam lughata arabiyya. Let's talk about second languages. I'm joined by my four special guests here, and every single person besides me in this studio this evening actually speaks a second language. So we're going to talk about that with them, why they learn the second language, what benefits has it brought them in their careers, in their academic pursuits, in their social life, and even in religious matters. So without any further ado, let me welcome my guests and have you guys introduce yourselves one by one, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. All right, brother, give me your full name. I know the viewers know you, but give me your full name and tell me a little bit about your language background. What languages you speak?
Okay. My name is Abdullah Amir. I'm 24 years old. I'm like last year or senior like student at Al-Azhar University, Faculty of Language Translation. For sure, my mother tongue is Arabic, and I started like speaking English or like learning English like 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I have like maybe a little bit of like French these days.
How long have you spent studying French? Just a little bit on the side, or did you take
like
classes?
Four years, but like it wasn't the main concern, wasn't the main focus like English, because like it was like the main language for me, the main language for study, for like all communicating with people and all these things. It was like my work at the same time, volunteer, all these things. So
right.
English is the main thing.
Yeah, of course. It seems like that is. And actually, I recently was, by the way, before I get to you guys, I bought a book with English, French, and Arabic for my son, and I found that French very difficult, and I changed my mind about it.
It's not
very. The sound's very difficult.
It's not. I'll let you know a lot about what's the language itself. Language is like some sounds together. They produce like maybe a letter. They produce what? A word, sentence, like a paragraph, and then a chapter, and then a book, and then library, then the whole language. So the point is like we're not focused on French. If you watch French movies, if you listen to like French music, if you see like the whole advertisement and like the main communication, you know lots of French people, you find it so easy. Seriously.
Yeah, no
the
doubt.
point is like one of every four like in the whole world now speaking like English. That's why like it's like so easy and easy like English itself, like it has like so many things to make it like really easy, like the articles, the indefinite one, definite one, all these things. Like we have like the lu, lay, la, like in French and on, in, all these things, but in English the THE, and that's it. So like English is easy like from one hand. The other hand is really like well recognized by the whole world.
Yeah, thank you. And also, I did notice, by the way, French is already spoken by a lot of Arabic speakers. So if you already speak Arabic, there's some overlap. So I'm going to tell you, so that's an interesting point why I was thinking not to have my son or myself study French, because a lot of Arabs and Africans, they already speak Arabic. But anyway, it's different point.
In North Africa, Nigeria, Morocco.
Yeah, they already speak Arabic. So, but anyway, so we'll see. Brother, give me your full, thank you. Brother, give me your full name and tell me a little bit about the language, how many languages you speak.
My name is Ahmad Badia Mahmoud. I just speak one language, English. From the academy, I studied mass communication. That's why I learn English.
Yeah, well actually, I know before the episode you said, brother, I haven't spoken English in a long time, but you speak English very well, very strong, like a native speaker, in my opinion, actually. So
yeah, because I live, maybe I born outside.
Oh, okay, and you grew up outside Egypt a little bit. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
that's
cool.
why.
Okay, cool, right on. Let's go to my left over here. Martial arts expert, brother Yasser. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Yasser Al-Ashkar. I'm from Alexandria. They call it down. That's the real downtown of Egypt, because Quran said "Ihbitu inzilu Misra," so it's down. It should be down the level of the rest.
Like
of the
down before below the sea level. Yeah.
so that's what so I came up to Cairo from Alexandria to Cairo.
That's why.
So right now
Great.
I'm learning. I'm studying third year of commerce in Alexandria University. I just finished my course right now, and I'm waiting for the next year, inshallah, the final one.
I want to know, brother, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm really glad to hear that.
Sure.
I want to know your languages, though. I mean, your native language, of course, is?
My native language is Arabic, but my second one is English, and then the third one was close to a mixture between Urdu and Hindi.
I mean, wow. Okay, this is interesting now, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
your English is very good, brother. Of course, Arabic is your native language, but now Hindi and Urdu. This is, very far from Egypt. How did you learn to speak these languages?
It's a mixture. It's not originally Hindi, and it's not 100% Urdu. It's a mixture between the two of them.
So how did you learn?
Because I was living in India for 2 years, and that was in New Delhi, in the capital of India. So they have this language. It's combined because India and Pakistan, they both were one country in the past, but they separated. Just like Sudan and the rest of the world, it's just a plan we're all going through. And right now, the languages, the separation of languages, actually is strange. It's amazing because it came down from the Prophet Adam till Prophet Noah, peace be upon them, the both. They both had the same language, the language of the heaven. So till now, it's not proven 100% which one was that. Was it Arabic? We say Arabic is the language of the heaven, but there's actually no single proof of it in Islam, not in Quran, not in Sunnah.
Okay.
It's just theories. Persian people love their Persian language. Arabic love our language is the best. Exactly. So just
Can you give us a couple words in this Hindi Urdu language?
Hello, in Hindi we can say Tumhara naam kya hai? Like, what's your name? Or so you'll be like Tico. I'm good. Tico like I'm good. Namaste is like it's the most famous thing.
That's how they say hello. That's like
like greeting.
I love it.
So have you forgotten though? I mean, it's been some time since you were there.
It's been 3 years from now. Yeah, it's been 3 years since I'm in Egypt right now. But inshallah, I'll be back to practice the language.
Yeah, wonderful. And you always have those Indian movies.
Inshallah, yeah.
I'm just joking.
It's the best.
Brother, the first time on Let's Talk, we want to give you a warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I've seen you before, though, on one of the commercials at Huda TV. I'm not sure. Was that you?
Yeah. I'm the one did the promo for Askoda.
That's right. Driving that red Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah. And then I had a problem in my car.
No, and I remember you get out of the car and you check the hood there, and then you look up, you see the Ask Huda sign. So it's a very nice commercial, brother. All right, brother. What about your language experience? Obviously, you're speaking to me in English. Your native country is?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, my name is Ibrahim Hamada. I am 26 years old. I have graduated from Al-Azhar University, School of Language and Translation, Department of Islamic Studies in English.
Okay.
And I have started learning English early, but actually I did practice English just 5 years ago.
Okay.
And that's all.
Yeah, but your English is very good.
Not very good, actually, because the language must be practiced because it's okay you learn English, you watch, you read, but the most important thing that you practice. So, but unfortunately, I didn't travel. Traveled in any speaking English country.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. Just
great
trying
point.
To practice here.
No,
in Egypt.
that's a great point. If you learn it and you don't practice, it fades away quickly.
Yeah.
That's why if I ever go ahead.
Like the first sentence, we learn our faculty. Like the first sentence we heard in our college is like language, any language, Arabic, English, Spanish, French, anything, Indian. Sure. Use it or lose it. And if you're not using it, you lose it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something. I was in America for 10 months. I was speaking English with everyone, even with Arabs. Yeah. I forgot my Arabic. My Arabic was I had broken Arabic when I came back to Egypt. You understand me? And then the point is, when you learn a language, you must use it in order not to lose it. So how about me? I lost a little bit of Arabic because I wanted to speak in English. So what about the second language you learn? So you must practice it all the time. You must I had a really nice joke with my friends. They told me once. That you dream in English, now you can acquire the language. So you must live the language itself.
And think,
think in English, dream in English, do everything in English, eat in English, use it in your every day. Not just in some of the email context and all these things, language, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
We need to
I like that, brother. And I know, can you tell us a little bit about your teaching experience? I know you have an organization and you teach English also.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that and how that goes and what techniques you use and a little bit about your students as well.
Okay, I'll tell you something. Like we started like 3.5 years ago, something called SYE, Spread Your English, which is like one of the pioneers in Egypt who taught English like in a very like unique way. The vision is to create an English environment for people. You understand me? You must create the English environment for them so that they can learn and speak, practice, and like use the English like in a very excellent way. The mission is by giving them high quality English courses, but not theoretical one. Unfortunately, we've been taught like we have like general and conversational classes and all these things. No.
Yeah.
From the first level, you have like general conversation. From the first level, you learn how to speak, because like after spending like most of the teaching centers and all these things, you spend with them like 1 year teaching you grammar or like rules and idioms and like vocab, but you don't teach you how to speak.
Yeah.
But like after 1 year, they began to speak. Hi, how are you? My name is Abdullah Amir. No. Like he's done already. Like
you gotta start from the
people
beginning.
like drop out. No, from the first level here, like we started. You learn how to speak in English from the beginning. I've been teaching since like two years ago. I've been teaching for so many long time, like more than like 2,000 hours, something like this, like more than like 1,000 students. I love it so much. It's like a passion for me now. I'm not leaving like teaching forever, even if like I change my career path, all these things. Because teaching gives you all these like skills to expressing your ideas, precision skills, speaking skills, delivering the knowledge, explaining anything for you. So like the English language itself, like really like with the teaching, like made a really good combination. And have you noticed why then the guy like who was like really famous like in the whole world, especially like in the Middle East, about like leadership and stuff, he said something really nice. He said like those are lucky who like their study is there, like volunteer work is there, like work at like career at the same time. Why? Because like you study, you volunteer work will provide you with this. Like I was like volunteering at SYE and One Hand English Club and all these like English like language like based like organizations, and then like I work now in English. So like I am unique now. You understand me?
Yeah, it works together.
It's really nice, especially when you see like your students speaking the language in a very like positive way when they change. Really.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. That reminds me of the Berlitz method. Did you guys ever hear this word, Berlitz?
Berlitz, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I heard
it's
of
like
it,
a center or just
it's like a
school
center.
for teaching. Language.
I went to this Berlitz center in San Francisco where I come from, and whatever language you want to learn, Japanese even, they didn't have Arabic at that time, but what they do is they put you in a classroom with only 3 or 4 people, and they don't even start by writing or anything, they just make you speak. And they say you can't speak any English in this classroom. So he teaches you a sentence or two, and this is how they develop it. It was a bit difficult, actually, for me, but they say that this is what you're talking about. It creates an environment, like you're in Japan or in where.
The instructors should be trained, because like, you know, I'm not speaking now English or Arabic with you. I want to teach you French. You don't know French. So I must speak French with you. It's okay, but like it depends on the instructor. Is he certified? Is he kind of
trained?
Trained to know how to deal with you?
Yeah, I think you're
right. You brought a good point, because most of Arabs who travel outside of the Middle East to go to a foreign country to study a foreign language, their major mistake is that they don't stay.
They stick together.
With
fortunately,
exactly. They stick together. You know, they keep speaking Arabic. They keep contacting in Arabic. So what is the use? You're going to college, studying English exam, going for test. Going to the test, and then maybe you'll pass it.
Guys,
whatever's up to you.
1.5 years in America,
exactly,
and they still don't know.
You'll be back.
English.
You'll be back with no experience at all. It's like he never even left.
Yeah, my dad is like that. He speaks English now, but he's Greek. He didn't speak English for like 15 years in America because all my work is in Greek. My friends are Greek. I don't care. But anyway, I want to ask you a question. What about the third language? I want to ask you guys a question and go this way.
Yeah.
Start with Ahmed. Look, the third question, the third language rather. Learning the second language is a little bit, it's a little bit easy because you just kind of compare. Like, what is this is a chair? What is it in Arabic, for example, right? Then you kind of match it into your mind. But the third language, I don't know, it's difficult. I don't know how people do that. It seems very difficult, doesn't it, to balance 3 languages in your mind, as if there's not enough space.
Too difficult, right?
Yeah, 3 languages is too difficult, right? I mean, it seems it's a talent, I think.
Yeah, too difficult,
What about you think? A third language, or do you think it becomes easier?
Actually, it's just a second language. It's just another step for a 10th language, because I know people like with 7, 8 languages in their pockets. You know, they're
really?
amazing. Yeah, a lot of people like that. It's like they combined the UN. They got 6 official languages.
Yes.
What? 6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. So they try to combine the 6 of them, all of them, and then they go right into the corporation business and
Okay, yeah.
try to find a job and stuff like that.
What about you? Are you going to pick up a third?
No, I'm just, my mother tongue is Arabic, and my second language is English, but I know just a little of Filipino language, actually, because I have many friends. We had to chat with them.
In the university?
Yeah, through Filipino language, so
really?
just memorized just a couple of sentences.
What are they?
Yeah, like mahal na mahal din kita tu. It means I love you so much.
I knew that's great. That's good. Yeah. You know, I learned some. My friend Muhammad Dadi sent me some Nigerian Hausa and Fulani words, but I forgot them. But how about you? What about the third language, brother? The French. I mean, you started and you stopped. So why? Or are you still working with French or what?
See, like I'll tell you something. Like the Arabic is like a mother tongue. The English is like kind of became like a little bit maybe like almost fluent in it now. But the point is like the French one. Once you learn the third language, seriously, your brain becomes now like the shifting thing. You're shifting now between this and this and this and this and this. But I'll tell you something. Once you start as like brother, like here said, like you can like learn 10 languages, 10 like different languages. I know like some people like here in Egypt, they speak 7 fluent languages.
These
like
guys that work in the tourism.
Like not tourism, no, perfectly. Like he's diplomat actually, like you know.
Oh yeah,
he's diplomat, like you know, his cultural ambassador, all these things, the deputy, like for the culture thing. They can speak perfectly 7 languages. Like the French one, I'm now in between Spanish and French because I talk to both languages. I love them, Spanish and French. See, the Latin languages
related,
like so related, like the English and like the French and the German and like the Italian and the Spanish. They're really nice, like to learn. So if you just start, I'll do something. Just start right. People, unfortunately, when they start like to speak the language, like the second language, or like they try to learn or practicing it, people push them back. See, we have something called input and output. We have 4 language skills. We have like the listening, speaking, reading, writing. The input one is what like the listening and the reading one. So you have to read a lot from the second language or the third language you learn, and like listen a lot all the time. That's why like you found like if a guy like traveled outside of Egypt, you found like his accent is good, his fluency is good, all these things. Why? Because like they always listen. Like a baby, like when they are like really young.
First,
So exactly, like a baby, maybe like you know when they like when they're born, like they start listening. They speak from the first day or the second day. Like they speak from the first, maybe like after maybe 6 months, maybe like a year, because like they have the input thing. They listen how to say this and this, and then they stutter. Like you're saying, like they say like the words in a very incorrect way, and then they improve themselves.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't support each other. For example, I'm learning, or like Brother Malik is learning like maybe French. Okay, like it's so difficult for you, I know. So like if you just try to say like je parle français, like please, he's showing off now. See all these things. No, you have to support him like a kid. You understand me?
Yeah,
You're learning this like a kid.
Yeah.
So that's not the problem, inshallah.
We're going to take a short break and continue our discussion. You guys stay tuned. We're talking about learning the second languages. So if you're down there in Nigeria, perhaps you can, we're going to talk about Hausa and Fulani and other languages. If you're out there in Pakistan, we're going to talk about Urdu and Hindi. And we're going to encourage everyone to learn a second and perhaps even a third language. So you guys stay tuned for more Let's Talk after the break.
How perfect my eyes and her praise. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Blessed month has dawned upon us with its merits and blessings combined. In it the Quran was revealed to Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon his soul. Without iman.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Brother Ahmed Salim coming to you from Riyadh. Wait for me this blessed month of Ramadan exclusively on Huda TV for a brand new show called Ramadan Spirit. I'll be coming to you live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia every Thursdays and Fridays between 4 to 5 p.m. and Makkah time, and between 1 to 2 p.m. UK time. I'll be joined with some renowned amazing speakers and guests, and you guessed it right, we'll be talking about some amazing topics pertaining to the month of Ramadan. So do not miss out this blessed month of Ramadan, Ramadan Spirit coming to your home. Huda TV, a light in every home.
The blessed month has dawned upon us with its merits and blessings combined. In it the Quran was revealed to Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon his soul. Without iman being uplifted from reading the Holy Quran.
Subhanahu wa
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Let's Talk. If you're just tuning in, we're speaking about the importance, the benefits of learning a second language, or perhaps third language if you already do speak a second language. Indeed, many of us speak our native languages and English as a second language, and many people have moved on to third languages. But in this episode, we're talking about learning a second language or a third language and the benefits of doing so in your career, in your academic career, in your professional career, and of course in religious and spiritual matters as well. You guys, we're going to take a quick look at a report regarding this issue, then we'll be right back to Let's Talk, so don't go anywhere.
Perfect, my alliance and I praise. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah, how perfect you are, Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
What is it that influences your thought process? And what is it that will change your decisions in the future? Now, if you've tried to quit weed more than once before and you ended up stoned anyway, regardless of that decision, what was it that made you smoke weed that time as opposed to sometime in the future when you know you're going to follow through and finally quit weed, right? Well, the answer is your feelings or your emotions. Okay, if you are human, your behavior is based on your feelings, and so is your decisions. Everybody just wants more pleasure and less pain, but your actual decision and what drives your behavior is always emotions. So it becomes pretty obvious. If you want to change this, and that is what is controlling it, you need to change that. In this case, it's your emotions. Well, how do you change your emotions? Your emotions are actually determined by your perception of whatever it is you're making a decision about, or whatever it is that you want to change in your life. So what you need to do is, if you want to be able to quit weed, you need to change your paradigm or your perception of quitting weed. And I'll show you why right now. So what happens is this. You want to quit weed, and you kind of have a certain perception of what quitting weed means to you. Most likely because you've done it before and you've had problems with it. And what that does is that creates certain emotions about the whole experience you're about to go through, even before you get there. So you've made the decision already, but then the real decision comes up. This is what we call a brick wall. And it's the time that matters, basically. It's the time where you've already said you're going to quit weed to yourself, and then you've run out of marijuana. The day that you said you were going to quit has now come up, or your friends got marijuana, throwing it in the face, wanting you to smoke weed. And the whole time, you know that you've promised yourself you're going to quit weed. So someone that first comes to this decision, or to this point, probably won't recognize it for what it is. And they already have been smoking weed. They decided they were going to quit. They still have emotion attached to marijuana. So when someone flashes it in their face, or they feel like it, or whatever the hell happens, they're going to choose to smoke weed. But what that does is it enforces a negative paradigm. It forces a bad perception about what you've done with marijuana. So what happens is you continue going with your life, and this could be any time period. It really could be. It could be, it could be 1 week, it could be 3 years, right? It doesn't really matter how long you continue with marijuana culture, but eventually you're going to come back to wanting to quit marijuana again. So what happens this time is you say, all right, I'm really going to quit weed, and now you see it as a much bigger hurdle. So you've actually got stronger emotions attached to it. And with the stronger emotions, you come to this point again. The brick wall is now bigger, and not only that, but you can't see as well what it's like to quit marijuana, because now you've got emotion attached to trying to quit weed and failing because you've done it before. You've enforced in your mind, you've internalized the fact that you can't quit weed because it's difficult. You've been through it before, and you're starting back here with too much emotion attached to what's going on. Okay, and you don't really feel it. You're not super emotional. None of that sort of thing happens, but it's just very mild, but it continues to happen. And the only problem with it is people get so used to doing this, and they keep going this way. And the problem with the whole thing is that people get so used to just bypassing the decision.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Welcome back. I certainly hope you enjoyed that report, you guys, and thank you for staying with us here on Let's Talk. We're talking about learning the second and third languages. Of course, many of us speak native languages, and we're kind of forced to learn English, I suppose, as the default international second language. What about a third language? And what are the benefits of learning a second language? You guys, we didn't talk about the benefits intellectually, academically. I went online and I found some interesting points here. People say that learning a second language increases your decision making or improves your decision making process. What are your thoughts, Brother Yasser?
I'm sorry. Go for it again.
The decision making process of your brain function actually improves by learning a second language. You actually become more intelligent.
That's true, actually. That's true, because when you
go ahead, brother.
That's true, because when you learn the first language, you learn it just.
No. Go ahead, brother. I'm saying. I read reports here that they say online. I was online this morning, and it said by learning the second language, you become actually more intelligent.
It does make you more intelligent, because when you learn the first language, you learn it by listening to your parents. So basically, you don't go for it. It doesn't become hard for you to understand or learn that language.
Right, it's natural.
Exactly, it's natural, 100% natural. But when you go for a second language, you actually
to make a big effort. No, you have to make a big effort, and it actually you have to switch between. It's like two different systems or softwares in your mind that you have to switch between. It takes talent to do that. Right. Brother, and I know even. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with this, because I'll tell you something. It's double-edged weapon. You understand me? For example, the first one, it broadens your horizons, like your comprehension of the whole things, because like you're learning different cultures along with like this language.
Yeah.
But take care, because like I'll tell you something. If you read like something, you'll be more convinced if it's like in the second language. For example, that's why like people unfortunately they go outside of like their countries and their cultures and stuff, and they read about like maybe liberalism and all these things, like, and they are convinced. Why? Because like they read it and understood it like in their languages.
Right.
But if you like get it back into your like original context in your like language, like source language, you'll not be convinced. So take care, please. Like
yeah, that's a good point.
Broaden your horizons. At the same time, you can be convinced with anything.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Because I want to mention that by learning a second language, you do open up a door. You open up another world.
Yes.
You meet more people. You can understand different cultures, understand different their ways of thinking, but also take care, like you said, right?
Sure.
Because you could be influenced in a negative way. I've read online that it improves memory. Can you guys believe that? Learning a second language improves memory. Why do you think that is? Why would that be? Why would learning a second language? Go ahead, brother.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like create this kind of things called brain, which is the most important thing we have, and we've been distinguished by this brain. And we have the ability to memorize anything. We create like memories and like SD cards and like laptops and all these things. So our brains like contains lots of energy, lots of like potentials.
Yeah.
And we can memorize lots of stuff. So like learning languages improves like this kind of part of the brain that improves like anything. Or do something. If you go to the gym, you'll be like buff. You understand? Like it's like a muscle. If you work hard, anything like by practicing, here as well, it's a muscle as well. If you like work it like all the time, it will be like more powerful. So memorization, the comprehension, and the way the switching from this language to this language is really nice. You switch like from CNN, and then I have Holiday TV, and I have like maybe like Channel 1 for like the different state TV. Understand? It's like kind of switching thing. It's really nice for you, for your brain. It's like a great activity for you, like exercise for you.
In fact, when you only speak one language, you realize how limited you are in your friendships even. Like now that I improved my Arabic just a little bit, I have a lot of friends now. You understand people, you can understand the society more and have a better time, know what's going on.
I think this is the next step of the importance of learning language, second language. Because if I learn a second language, I may know people from different backgrounds, different cultures. I build a good communication with people. So if I just keep with my own tongue language,
you've been created to know each other. Like we as like human beings will be created to know like this and this and this and this and this, and the languages will improve this. I'm isolating myself if I learn only like my mother tongue, because maybe I'm interested in you, like maybe like you have the knowledge, the culture, maybe I'll be happy to be with you, but like I don't know like the way to communicate. Maybe it's just like maybe get shares, smiles, go back to primitive age. No, just like be
challenge yourself and learn a little bit, right? That's what I say. Challenge yourself and try to learn another language. That's what I say.
Besides the new emotions, actually, in a lot of languages, some expressions are not very well known, because in Arabic, let's say for example, for instance, in English you have the word run. The word run in Arabic, it has over 30 meanings. So basically, in Arabic, you can express yourself or your way, your personality, or anything you want to express in a way you can never express in English.
Yeah.
Just an example.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Exactly. Beside actually, imagine if you're learning Quran, if you're trying to memorize Quran. The more you read, the more you put your mind into, I want to memorize this, I have to memorize this. You know, that's only that is considered as improving your memory.
Yeah.
Not just with the language, with anything. So as long as you, when you finish English and go into you move on to Spanish or to Chinese. Chinese, like you got 1 billion
native speakers
over the world, you know, and plus 200 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's the number one
language right now.
Speaking on
is that
Earth.
okay?
Exactly. So Arabic comes fourth.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Spanish comes second, and then English comes third.
Is that for native speakers?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful!
Just like this, from 1 to 4.
Okay.
And then, so basically, it'll improve your memory as long as you keep going in it.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people. One guy, I mentioned him in one of the episodes here in Huda TV earlier. He's Indian. He's a surgeon, and he can move between 4 languages.
You told me.
Yeah, that's great.
Like Arabic, and then Urdu, and then Hindi, and then English, you know, and then he flip between the words, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to keep going for it.
You can even make some self-discovery, like you learn more about yourself, because if you find when you learn more languages, you find a word that suits like your emotion at that time or a feeling or something, and that's not existence in your mother language, right?
But I'll tell you something about Arabic, which is, like I said, with so deep sorrow, like really, like we should be like the first. Like the Arabic language is so beautiful. I'm not saying this because like I'm an Egyptian, I'm an Arab, or like someone who like has more is Arabic. No, the Arabic language is so beautiful, so rich in vocab and meanings and like and metaphors and all these things. Wallahi, it should be like the first language. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
but what we have to do now is like. I'll tell you something. One of the reasons the English-speaking countries or the West like is way more like up than like in other things like in the culture and like in their
technology,
all these things, because like the language itself, like you know reflects the how much the culture or how much like the nation is like developed and all these things. So what we found like here, like everything now is like if you want to like go business, want to go outside in Egypt like or work in anything, you need English. You understand me? That's why, like, you know, we need to improve and get back, like, and spread your Arabic thing. What is there? Spread your Arabic, SYA. Spread your Arabic.
No, certainly, I believe we have to have pride in the Arabic language to spread it around. Yeah. Because now English dominates as default second language. Brothers, I found online. Oh, by the way, can you imagine that learning a second language will improve your first language? Mm-hmm. You guys, can you believe that? Because then you have to
go back,
learn your grammar in your native language more, learn vocab in your native language more.
You cannot master the second language unless you master the first language.
Yeah,
but if you just go back and learn more languages, you find lots of differences. You understand me? So like you go back to your like you make comparison now between your native language. So like now you can kind of it's messed up in your brain. Now it's like kind of more organized. Like we have a noun, pronoun, adverb, adjective, all these things, and now like their like counterparts, like or like their what do you say it?
Yeah, a corresponding word or something. There's a word for it. I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can put all that together. You guys want to take a short break? Inshallah, you guys will be right back. After the short break, we're going to talk more about learning a second language and why you all should do that and why I should do that as well. You guys stay tuned for more. Let's talk.
How perfect my Allah is, and I praise. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. In my heart your remembrance to
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Ask Huda viewers, given the fact that mashallah we receive tons of questions and inquiries to Ask Huda program, by the grace of Allah, it gives me a great pleasure to announce to you that during the blessed month of Ramadan, I will enjoy being with you live 5 days a week, every week during the month of Ramadan, from Sunday through Thursday of every week, exactly at 5 p.m. Mecca time. May Allah the Almighty accept it from us.
Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
All right, you guys, welcome back to Let's Talk. Thank you for staying tuned. You guys, we're going to take a quick look at this report, and when you finish watching that report, we'll be right back with more about learning a second language, or perhaps a third language if you already know two. So stay tuned.
Perfect, my alliance, and I praise. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The first time I drank, I got drunk. And I vividly remember being invited to a party. I was in the 7th grade, and a friend of mine's sister bought us a pint of Old Forester. And there were 4 of us boys. We went under a bridge right on the way to this party and twisted the top off of it. And I watched the first 2 boys open it, take a sip, both of them spit it out. It burned their mouth, said, "Oh, this stuff is awful." And I said, "Here, give it to me." And I distinctively remember taking a big swallow, swallowing it, it burned going down, but all of a sudden I was warm inside. And I said, "This is great, give me that bottle." My 3 friends that were there were all amazed. They said, "You like that stuff?" And I said, "That's nothing wrong with this." And I proceeded to drink almost all of the bottle myself. We went on to a party. I proceeded to get sick, get all kinds of attention at the party, with vomit all over myself. I was taken home that night. I was met by my mother. She asked what happened, and it was the start of a lot of enabling that was very characteristic of my relationship with my mother, because when I told her I'd been drinking, I said, "Someone spiked the punch," and she said, "Oh, you poor baby, come in here, let me give you an aspirin, an Alka-Seltzer, go to sleep." I woke up the next morning. She met me with an aspirin and a glass of water, and it was not my fault. It was somebody else's fault, and I learned how to make my behavior somebody else's fault and not be responsible from that point on. And after that, anytime I drank to get drunk. I remember I'd get up when I was in college, and I'd go into the bathroom, and I'd look in the mirror, and I looked like I felt like, and I'd say, "This stuff's just got to stop. You can't go on like that." And then I'd say, "Yeah, but not today." And I had no hope. I had nowhere to go. One of the sad things is I'd sit around with my roommates, and we had these pathetic dreams. Oh yeah, someday one of my roommates thought he was going to get a trust fund at 30, and he said, "I'm going to get this yacht, and it's going to be you and me on the yacht, when I'm 30. And I'm thinking, dude, I ain't going to make 30, at the rate I'm going. I really didn't think I was, but the dreams that I had and the outlooks were just sad, very pitiful. At Thanksgiving of that year, I was to go home and see my mom, and at this point, I knew enough to know if I took anything, I could not predict my behavior. And so I had not taken anything at all for 2 days. I'd gone cold turkey, because anytime I took a drink of alcohol or took a drug, I could not tell you where I was going to end up or when it would stop. And we went down to my grandparents' bay house for Thanksgiving dinner. As I came out of this seizure, my grandmother had her hands laid on me, and she was praying. My family was around me, and I really thought I'd died and was in heaven or something. It was so strange, but I'll never forget looking around and seeing my brothers and sister and mother and grandmother, and seeing the hurt and the pain in their eyes. And I didn't care about myself at this point. I wish I had died, but I still had a conscience, and I could look at them and see that they cared about me, and that I'd hurt them very much, and they were scared and didn't know what to do. So I
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. We're talking about learning a second or perhaps a third language if you already speak two. Before the break, me and Brother Abdullah were looking for that word. We meant to say
the equivalent.
Yes,
the equivalent, words.
Yeah, not the
chair, kursi, stuff like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Great, thank you, brother. I want to actually go back to my left. Brother Ibrahim, I had mentioned to the viewers that I saw you on a commercial, and you're driving this nice red car, and all of a sudden, the gas light comes on.
Yeah.
But then I always want to ask you, I'm so happy you're on the channel, the program, because you open the door and you check the engine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you notice that.
But maybe the light was wrong, but it's actually the engine wasn't working in the commercial.
Yeah,
so okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, no problem. Now
But also the editor, Mu'taz, told me to do so. So I did.
That's right. It's his fault, not yours.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I want to get back to our topic. It's really funny. I want to get back to our topic. I went online and I got a list of the 10 easiest languages to learn.
Really?
Now, I don't think this list is very good, actually, because look at the languages. From 10 to 1, okay?
From 10 to 1, okay.
Afrikaans. You know what language that is? That's South African, like it's like Dutch. The Dutch language spoken in South Africa. Okay. Number 10. It's like a Germanic language similar to English, I guess. Number 9 is French.
French?
That can't be. I thought French was difficult.
No, it's not.
You know how they say circle in French?
No.
Les circulaires. I mean, it's really difficult.
French it up. Like French anything up. Like do it too.
It sounds nice, but it's difficult. A lot of them. Number 8, Spanish.
Spanish. Nice.
I think Spanish is easy. I think Spanish is easy. I think Spanish can be, if you put some effort, you can learn it.
Yeah.
After that, Dutch.
Dutch,
I think, would be difficult. I don't know.
Woher kommen Sie?
No, this
you know that?
This is like
Germany.
German and Dutch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's different.
But it's almost the same though.
But,
yeah. And then Norwegian. That sounds difficult. Portuguese. Now Portuguese is more difficult than Spanish, I know for a fact, because it's difficult. Portuguese is more difficult than Spanish, in my opinion.
But I think it's
I
similar.
found it online. It's very strange, huh, right? You check these guys.
But I think it's similar to Spanish.
Yes. Yeah, similar to Spanish.
Yeah.
It's from the Telegraph. Yeah, we're going to write those guys a letter. It's an online publication from the UK. Yeah. Then they have Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
I've these languages, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, I found them to be very difficult. They're very long words.
The second one, the third one.
And then Italian.
Italian
could be maybe easy, like Spanish.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. And then the easiest language supposedly in the whole world was called Esperanto. That was that language that was created. It's not even a real language. It was created by this linguist person because he wanted everyone in the world to speak the same language, and then he made this hybrid language. Yeah, Leo Tolstoy was a fan. Anyway, nobody speaks that language. But I want you guys are all native Arabic speakers, okay? So I wanted to bring one final point up because my friend Ibrahim Ashur, who studies, he's a master's student in linguistics, right here, Egyptian brother, okay? He says to me, he studies the different dialects within a language. So this is also takes practice. So I know you're from Upper Egypt, for example. So you grew up over there, right?
Yeah.
So when you come to Cairo, did you have a different understanding of the language? How do you have to do like a code switching, switching back and forth?
Yeah. Actually, this does not make big difference, but it happened here in Egypt because we, some people like from Alexandria, from Upper Egypt. So it just has a little different. I mean, in
not
just
a big deal.
Speaking, not a big deal. But of course, it's basically obviously understood.
Yeah, it's understood.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting though? For example, you're from Upper Egypt, and you would never speak, for example, the dialect of Alexandria, even though it's still Arabic. But you speak the way that you learn as a child.
Yeah.
Like for example, one guy told me, "Can you put on a British accent?" I said, "What? I don't even know how to speak like that. I can never do that." But what about you guys?
But for sure, you understand.
Yeah, but you understand most of the stuff. Yeah.
The thing, like here in Egypt, if you are from Alexandria and you went to Upper Egypt, you can speak like that, but you surely understand easily.
Yeah. Sure, great point.
Yeah. Sometimes, like your accent, has been it's been affected, by the accent itself. If you go to San Francisco, like the West Coast. If you live you're from the West Coast. If you go the West Coast, the East Coast, you've lived there for 20 years, your accent will be affected.
Yeah, of course.
If a guy from Upper Egypt who lived in Cairo for maybe 10, 15 years, he'll be affected by the accent of the Cari.
I mean, for a short visit, if I'm come to visit my friend in Upper Egypt, I'm from Alexandria, so you can just easily understand, but you cannot speak like them. It's not a big problem. You understand.
No doubt. But this happens within Egypt, obviously. There's many different kind of dialects as you go from Buhaira.
It happen actually in my state, Bahira, to go from this state to Alexandria. If you make a sound that came from Alexandria in the state, in another state, everyone around you will make fun of you. They'll be like, you know, you can't say that here. You go there and say it there.
Like what word?
Like some letters, some vocabularies. They press on some letters like qaf, and some places they say ga.
Okay.
And then another place they say qa. They press harder on it.
Yeah.
So when someone do that, they'll be like, you know, get out of here. You know, you don't belong.
Some they replace some letters like qa and ja and hamza.
That's what's special about Arabic.
The intonation itself. The word is cool. Like for example, like in Port Said or like I don't know, like in the Swiss kind of thing, like you say like madrasa. Like in Cairo, you say madrasa.
Oh right. Oh yeah. The emphasis.
The emphasis of the word. The intonation
is important. Yeah.
That's an interesting point to say the least. And that's all within one language and within one country rather. What happens when you travel to different Arabic-speaking countries? For example, if you go to the west, to Morocco and Algeria and Tunisia.
It's totally different. I think it's big different. You know, if you hear some Saudi Arabia or you know some Qatar or some Gulf states, I think it's difficult to understand.
Sure.
For some,
it takes time. Why? Why you're being understood by them? I'll tell you something. Why you're being understood like from Morocco to like maybe like to Kuwait or like to Iraq? Why are you being understood by them? Because like you're see, we're one quarter of the Arabs, like the Egyptian population thing. At the same time, like our production, the media production thing, the movie, the songs, like the talk shows and all these things. We affected there, even like the dialects, you understand me? And like that's why they understand us. That's why you're being understood by them. But because like you don't listen to their like maybe talk shows or maybe like they don't like understand me, like watch their movies. That's why it's hard for you. It will get time. I saw like I see a lot of like Egyptians who've been like Saudi Arabia and stuff. Their accent has been affected.
Yeah, and you know what's funny that you guys this is your native language, so you can understand well when you travel.
But when it comes to the formal Arabic language, I mean it's very clear. When you recite the Quran, it's obviously clear.
And that's my next point, brother. And I want to wrap the episode up with that. We learn all these other languages like English for work or whatever worldly pursuit, okay? But we learn Arabic. Why? What is so important, special about learning the Arabic language? Why should we encourage all of our viewers who are in Nigeria and Pakistan who don't speak Arabic? Why should we encourage non-native speakers of Arabic to learn Arabic? Why? Go ahead.
I think because the Arabic, at first, it's the language of the Quran. You know, so I cannot understand my religion, Islam, by not learning Arabic. So I think this is the most important thing that encouraged me and give me the chance to learn more about Islam, my religion, and to recite the Quran, to understand its word. I think it's difficult at first for non-speaking Arabic to speak Arabic, but by practicing and to try to just maybe if you have the chance to travel in Arabic country, any country from speak Arabic, like here in Egypt or any country, I think this give more chance to handle or master Arabic. I mean, also through the internet you can just find any friends, any person from who can speak Arabic. You can chat with him. You can make just conversation. I think this is very important to. I encourage and I support every non-Muslim, every non-speaking Arabic to take this chance of step. It's very important.
Well, does anybody want to? We only have a minute left or so. Do you want to add a final comment? Go ahead.
Arabic actually is the language of Ahl Quraysh. Quraysh are the people of Hijaz, Saudi, 1400 years ago. So basically, you have over 321 languages, which are extinct actually nowadays. Right now, so now you have 300.
Like Latin, for example.
Many languages. So one of the reasons Quran Arabic exists till today is because God preserved it from any corruption.
Right.
So people won't forget it.
Yeah.
So they keep practicing. Just like Hebrew. Hebrew right now is one of the semi languages that exists till now, till today.
Right.
Why? Because it came in the book, so it got immortalized.
Well, thank you guys for your time. I certainly appreciate it, and we want to I want to thank you one more time. You guys, thank you for being here. I certainly appreciate it. And you guys at home, thank you for staying tuned. We certainly hope that you benefited from this edition of Let's Talk, and that you now have a new desire to learn a second language, and perhaps If your second language isn't Arabic, maybe it should be, because indeed the Arabic language is a language that we don't just learn for fun and for traveling and for academic pursuits and professional pursuits. We learn Arabic to learn who is Allah, who is His Messenger, and how we can become closer to Him. Of course, you can be a great Muslim in Nigeria, in Pakistan, whatever country you come from, without speaking Arabic. Yes, indeed, that you can, but in order to take that extra step and to understand more, I think learning Arabic is an important step to take. I myself can't really speak Arabic that well, but it's a life journey, and I'm always looking to improve as well. So don't be discouraged, you guys. Get out there and try your best. You guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, you guys, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How perfect my Allah is, and I praise Him. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. Your mercy is great.